So you're considering a move to the San Francisco Bay Area? Well, today we're going over 13 reasons why you might not want to move to the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been a resident here for well over 20 plus years, and I think I know a little bit about this area. So if you want to know those reasons that might not want to come over here to the San Francisco Bay, stay tuned. What's up, guys? This is Rachel Capel, East Bay Realtor in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you want to know all things about the San Francisco Bay, make sure to click the subscribe button, smash those like buttons, keep notified because we do videos each week. Big shout out to those people that have been asking questions and reaching out to us for opinions on the San Francisco Bay Area. We absolutely love it, and keep them coming because we love helping you relocate and move your family to the San Francisco Bay Area and make that process as smooth as possible. So keep them coming, and thanks so much for reaching out. I have been a resident here for 20 plus years, and I've noticed there are a handful of really important things and reasons that you may not want to be here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And today we're going to go over those 13 things. Let's get into this video. All right, so my number one is if you love perfect weather, then it might not be the place for you. So obviously we here in sunny California, especially in the northern section, San Francisco Bay Area, we have amazing weather. We have cooler weather in the San Francisco Bay and then warmer in the East Bay. So if you like to have multi-seasonal weather and different types of weather, this might not be the place for you. We have sunshine pretty much all year round and not that much rain, some rain, but for the most part, it is absolutely perfect weather in California. It's hotter in the summer times. I feel like global warming is heating up a little bit more, but you're going to have a pretty perfect climate here. You're not going to have major differences in the climate. It's not going to get extremely cold. It's not going to get extraordinarily hot. It might in the summer in the East Bay, maybe 110 max, but you're going to have pretty much neutral, nice weather all year round. So there are not many seasons in this section of town. So something you need to notate coming on over is number one, if you don't like amazing good weather all year round, it might not be for you. And on that note, number two is tons of outdoor activities. If you do not like getting outside and you like staying inside, California is not the place for you. Maybe head over to Portland, I don't know, Washington, where it rains a lot. I think that there are so many outdoor activities in California to be had and to do with family. I mean, literally you could go do free things all throughout the week and weekends in this beautiful state. There's outdoor hiking, biking, trails, tons of activities you can do with the kids, picnics, beaches, parks. And parks they're all accessible all year round, except for when it's raining. But if you want to go out in the rain and play, go for it. It's never that extreme where you can't really get the kiddos out. So I know in certain states you have to stay inside. So if you enjoy that indoor time with your kids, then more power to you. But in California, you have lots of activities that you can take them out to. Even if you don't have any kids, if you're single, plenty of hikes, plenty of trails, plenty of things to do, biking, hiking, walking, outdoor malls. If you like shopping like me, there's tons of stuff you can do here. So that is my number two. You need to know that outdoor activity is abundantly amazing here. All right, number three, tailgating on number two with outdoor activities. There are a plethora of things that you can do as far as like shopping, dining, concerts, day trips. You can head to Santa Cruz if you want to go to the beaches. You can head to Lake Tahoe if you wanted to go up to the mountains. You can head to Napa if you wanted to go wine tasting. I mean, these trips are all really close, like within an hour or two, depending on where you are. I mean, I'm about 45 minutes from Napa, another 45 minutes to an hour to San Francisco, depending on traffic. If I wanted to go to Marin and sail a boat, I could do that, or I could go to the Discovery Museum. I could go to Muir Woods. I mean, there is just a plethora of like outdoor activities, concerts, venues, shows, things that you could do. So my number two was all the outdoor activities. There's just an abundance of activities and places that you can easily access living here in the sunny, beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. So that is my number three. There is accessibility to all types of activities, including concerts, shopping, and all types of culture. All right, now on to number 4. If you do not like good food, dining, and shopping, California is not the place for you. If you want a quaint, simple town, don't bother with San Francisco Bay Area, because here we love shopping. San Francisco is an amazing place to shop, just like New York City, and we have phenomenal food and cuisines here. I mean, between San Francisco, Oakland, Rockridge, Berkeley, Napa, I mean, you pretty much have some of the best restaurants and shopping that you could get in the United States. Probably second to New York, but just saying, it's pretty awesome here for shopping and dining. Number 4. Now, tailgating onto that last one, number 5 is, let's talk about, even though all of these can be negative, just depends on how you want to play them, it is expensive here. Okay, so if you ain't got the opportunity or ability to make money, honey, you ain't gonna survive here, or you're gonna really struggle and you're not gonna have fun. It's not gonna be a fun life to live paycheck to paycheck, which a majority of people do, but I just have to notate that it is expensive here. It is not gonna be cheap. You will have certain areas that will be cheaper than others, but for the most part, our cost of living is well above the average in the United States. It's going to be expensive here. And there's not really any way you can get around it other than having your own business and hustling and working hard, or being in technology, or having a really good job. Lots of opportunity for that here. We don't need to go into it, just talking about the things that you need to know if you want to move over here, and the things that I have found to be negatives for people. So number 5 is that it is expensive. Number 6 is that if you live in this sunny, beautiful state of San Francisco, California Bay Area, there is going to be a lot of traffic. Can't avoid it. There's nothing you can do. You can take BART, you can take Muni, you can take Amtrak, you can take a bus system, you can take an Uber. But no matter which way you slice it, if you're commuting to work, there's going to be traffic. And it's going to be pretty brutal. Not going to lie or sugarcoat it. I'm just going to tell you straight up. You're going to have to go onto Waze.com, take a look at how much time you're going to be wasting in the car, and if it's going to be worth it for you. Now, I feel like there are a lot of places in the United States where traffic is horrendous, but this is definitely one of them. We do have some pretty good public transportation, but depending on where you live, and if you're going to be going into the city or Oakland or Berkeley, Emeryville, and you're living in the East Bay, you're going to have to know that traffic is going to be an issue for you. So further you get out, if you have kids and you want more space to have with the kids, it's going to be harder. I mean, literally coming from Pleasant Hill to San Francisco, it should take me without traffic 35 minutes. With traffic, it could be almost 2 hours if there's accidents and bad things happening, but usually about an hour to hour and a half. I mean, I was just at the beach with friends. We went to Ocean Beach last weekend, and I thought it was an hour and it would have been fine to keep myself at an hour. Well, apparently there's a lot of activities in the San Francisco area that weekend, and because of that, it took me a good hour and 45 minutes to get to where, now mind you, Ocean Beach is at the very end of San Francisco, but I literally thought that it was going to take me an hour, and it was a weekend, whatever. I was wrong. Everybody likes to go into the city, especially when it's a sunny, pretty day. So hour and 45 minutes it took me to get in, when it should have taken me 35 to 40 minutes. So just saying, if you're going to be commuting, these are things you have to think of. So number 6 is traffic. All right, number 7 is the fact that there is just not enough housing. As I'm sure you are all well aware of, there is limited inventory across the United States with housing, and it's very competitive and it's very difficult. I feel like it has hit its max right now, and currently in March of 2022. It is max capacity for rent, max capacity for paying for a home. Sellers are laughing and enjoying all the way to the bank. So just know housing is limited here. You will have to fight for a house if you're going to be buying. You're going to have to overpay for a house, and it's going to be very expensive for rent if you are going to be renting. So just know that and be aware. Hopefully we start building and building and building, and things get smoother along the lines and inventory loosens up. But right now, March 2022, you're looking at not very much housing here to spare. And lovely number 8 is taxes. I don't need to get into the details of this, but you just need to know that taxes suck in California. But a good thing is you can write off your property taxes, a portion of them, so that's positive. But definitely want to look in and research about taxes and just know the ramifications. And again, back to number 5 5, which is California is very expensive. We're just going to have to tag that on to taxes. Taxes are expensive and there's no getting around it. So that's my number 8, taxes. And number 9, such a sensitive subject, but I don't really know how we are ever going to solve this. I think it is an issue across the entire United States and potentially world. Is there are a lot of homeless here, especially in San Francisco and the towns that are close to San Francisco, like Oakland, Emeryville, and Berkeley. They get pretty hard hit with homeless. I don't know how we solve it. I don't know what to do, but I feel like the leadership of our country and our state needs to step up a little bit to see how we can help. The things that they've been doing have not been working. I just feel like it keeps getting worse and worse, but we do definitely have an issue here. I think homeless tends to be a little bit less in the suburbs as you kind of move away from the city, but it is definitely an issue. And you just have to understand, like, part of your life living here, and, you know, maybe you can help to do something about that, but I don't know if I have a solution. Every time I try my best and say a prayer, but that is my number 9. Is, unfortunately, like the rest of the world and country, we have an issue with homeless, especially in the San Francisco area and the cities that are neighboring San Francisco. All right, number 10. Now, this one is kind of an interesting one. I think it's very interesting because I actually really like it about California, but there are a lot of people that don't like it. So my number 10 is diversity. If you do not like diversity, then do not come to California, because we are very, very, very diverse here. We are extremely blue state. And if you are leaning on the more red versus blue, you might not want to consider California. I think it's one of the reasons people love it here, and it's another reason why people hate it here. So, number 10, if you don't like diversity, this might not be the place for you. Number 11, this one is a very sad one for me, because growing up here, we didn't really have these issues too much, but now we have a fire season. So if you're going to live here, you need to know that in the summer, there is going to be a significant portion of the summer where you will be seeing smoke. Now, I love that Trump wanted us to rake up the forest and help the fires that way. It just seems like global warming has completely changed our earth. So now we have a fire season living in California. So you're going to have fires throughout the summer. Sometimes it's worse than other times, but last year it seemed like Lake Tahoe got hit really hard in South Lake. The year prior was Napa. It's just part of living in California. Unfortunately, you need to prepare for it. And depending on where you're going to choose to live, you need to know that there could be potential extreme fire hazard depending on where you live in the state. So something to know. That's my number 11. 12 is, and now please, I pray that this doesn't happen anytime soon, but we're definitely waiting on the big one, is earthquakes. So if you are scared of earthquakes, don't come to California. We have had in the last few years a couple pretty big shakes, and not one hit the Bay Area really bad recently. I mean, obviously back in the 80s, we had the major earthquake that it was totally scary. I remember I was really young, and it was super scary, but we have not had a big one like that. I really feel like we're due for one. We have had a few shakes in the last, I'd say 6 years. I remember there's 2 that were pretty big. So if that is something that freaks you out and you can't take it, do not come to California, because it definitely happens. It will happen, and praying they're not that bad. But I'll take a few little shakes here and there, but big ones, just makes me nervous. I really feel like we're due for one. So something to notate. I lived in Florida. I was actually in Naples, Florida during Wilma. And I'll tell you right now, I will take 1,000,000 times over an 8 on the Richter scale versus a hurricane category 4. Literally 8 hours of praying this hurricane would just go the F away. And it didn't, okay? Until the eye transferred over our apartment. That was the craziest time. Because if you have an 8 on the Richter scale, you're either dead or alive. You're either in heaven or you're straight in earth, still living. So if you're scared of earthquakes and that's not your jam, not something that you want to deal with, do not come to California. So my number 12 is earthquakes. All right, my number 13 is, if you like culture, don't come to California, because we got lots of culture here. You want to have a vanilla life, simple, easy, don't come here, because between the diversity and the opinions and the taxes, you're going to hate it here. And the culture, you're going to hate it. You're going to hate all of it. Just stay in the mountains. I don't know, Boise, North Boise, wherever the mountains are, Arkansas, go back to Arkansas, go to Arkansas, just don't come here, because between the diversity of the taxes and all the things that we have to offer here, it's not going to be for you. So culture, we have a plethora between the amazing restaurants, the cultural fairs that we have, the different communities. I mean, there's various communities of the little ethnic enclaves that have like street fairs and all types of amazing outdoor activities to be had. It's like so fun, and you can go and like eat all types of different cuisines, and it all happens even like all throughout the year, especially in like the nice spring and summer months. It's just super fun. And between the shows in San Francisco, we had a family friend whose daughter performs in an acrobat kind of like Cirque du Soleil gymnasium, and they put a show on, and it was like kids. It was like basically Cirque du Soleil for kids. And it was just amazing. It's like high schoolers. So if you don't like those types of things and having that ability to put your kids into something like that, this area is not for you. You know, stay in Arkansas, stay in like, I'm sure Arkansas actually has some diversity and culture too, but in California, San Francisco Bay Area, we have a plethora, and we really promote that. I think that for every person that comes here, it's almost like they come here with an idea and they just open a business, and all of a sudden you have this amazing gymnasium for kids to basically perform like a Cirque du Soleil. It's really fascinating, and it's fantastic. I think it's amazing, and I love that we could have that opportunity for our kids if they want to get into that. And I love that we have all the different varieties of culture and food. I mean, I've eaten so many different amazing cuisines here. Like, it's awesome. And I love it. And that's why I'll never move. And I have to just keep working harder and harder to make the money to live here. But if you don't like culture, and if you don't want to have that opportunity to be able to go to the ballet or the symphony or, a musical or a show or a play or Cirque du Soleil or sporting event, California won't be for you. So stay home, stay where you are. You're good. Don't come here. Don't bother. Let us all be crazy and nutty and be our own little blue state. That is my number 13. If you don't like culture, this might not be the town for you. All right, so there you have it, the 13 reasons why the San Francisco Bay Area might not be for you. I hope it didn't scare you away. There's tons of great opportunity and fun to be had here. So if you're considering a move or wanting to know more, definitely reach out to us. We've got lots of advice and can help you in any way, shape, or form. So information is all below. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like buttons, and reach out. We absolutely love helping the families that come through and move on over here. And we are here for you days, nights, and weekends. And until the next video, thanks for hanging, and I'll see ya. Bye.